Welcome, dear listener, to JadeFox Tales, where ancient myths become the dreams into which you softly descend. I'm most grateful for your company this evening and for the quiet moment you have chosen to spend here. Tonight, we journey to the ancient skies of China, where, on clear summer nights, countless stars shine quietly above the world, and where two devoted souls are said to meet but once each year across a great river of heaven. It is a tale of love, of devotion, and of the quiet hope that even the longest of separations may one day give way to reunion. For in these old stories, time is measured not only by the turning of seasons, but by patience, faithfulness, and the enduring bonds that neither distance nor the heavens themselves can break. You need not follow each word too closely. Should your thoughts begin to wander, you may let them do so. And if sleep should find you before the tale has reached its end, you may welcome it without concern. The story will continue whether heard or not, as the stars continue their silent journey across the night sky. Before we begin, let us allow the day to fall gently away. Take a slow breath in and let it go again unhurried. There is no need to guide the breath, only to notice its quiet rhythm. The world beyond this moment may wait. For now, there is nowhere you must be, and nothing that requires your attention. And so, in this quiet interval, we turn gently toward tonight's tale. A story of a humble cowherd and of a heavenly weaver whose love was written among the stars. And now, dear listener, let the body rest, let the mind grow still, and allow yourself to drift as the story begins. In a distant age where the heavens and the earth were said to be closer than they are now, there lived a humble cowherd in the quiet countryside of China. His days were simple, marked by the steady rhythm of tending his ox, walking the rolling fields, and watching the clouds drift lazily across the sky. Though his life was modest, there was a quiet contentment in his heart, for he asked little of the world and found comfort in its gentle patterns. Yet above him, far beyond the reach of mortal hands, there existed a realm of celestial beauty. Among its many wonders was a maiden known as the Weaver Girl, a being of grace and quiet diligence, whose task it was to weave the clouds and colors of the heavens. Day after day, the Weaver Girl worked at the loom, her delicate hands guiding threads of light into the vast tapestry of the sky. The soft hues of dawn, the golden glow of sunset, and the shimmering patterns of the stars, all were shaped by a patient and devoted craft. Though she lived among the immortals, her heart was not untouched by longing. For all the beauty she created, she had little time to walk among the world she adorned. She watched the earth from afar, wondering what it might be like to feel the wind upon her face, to walk beside the rivers, and to live a life not bound by duty alone. One evening, as the heavens softened into twilight, the Weaver Girl descended quietly to the earth, a luminous form hidden beneath the veil of night. She came to a quiet stream where the water flowed gently over smooth stones, reflecting the first stars of the evening. There, she removed her celestial robe and stepped into the cool, clear water, relishing for the first time the simple sensation of the earthly world. It was at this very moment that the cowherd, returning from the fields, happened upon the scene. He paused, startled not by fear, but by wonder, for before him stood a maiden like any he had ever seen, her presence radiant yet serene, her movements as gentle as a breeze that stirred the reeds. The Weaver Girl turned, sensing his gaze, and for a brief moment the world seemed to hold its breath. Neither spoke at first. The river murmured softly between them, and the stars above shimmered as though reflecting the meeting below. At last the cowherd bowed his head, his voice calm but respectful. "I did not mean to intrude," he said gently. "I came only upon my usual path, yet it seems I have wandered into something far more wondrous than I could have imagined." The Weaver Girl regarded him with quiet curiosity, Like the immortals she had known, there was no pride in his voice, no ambition in his gaze, only a simple, honest presence. "You have intruded upon nothing," she replied softly, "for perhaps this meeting was not by chance, but by the quiet weaving of fate itself." Her words, though softly spoken, carried a depth that stirred something within the cowherd's heart. In the days that followed, the weaver girl returned often to the earth, drawn by the simplicity and warmth of the mortal world, and by the gentle presence of the cowherd. They would walk together by the river, speak beneath the stars, and share the quiet beauty of moments unhurried by duty or expectation. The cowherd spoke of the fields, the seasons, and the small joys of life. The weaver girl spoke of the heavens, of the stars, and the delicate art of weaving light itself. Though their worlds were vastly different, their hearts found a harmony that needed no explanation, and so, beneath the endless sky, a love began to take root, quiet, sincere, and as vast as the heavens themselves. The days unfolded like a gentle dream, each one touched by quiet joy neither the cowherd nor the weaver girl had ever known before. No longer did she descend to the earth as a mere visitor, drawn by the warmth of the mortal world and by the steady kindness of the man she had come to cherish. The weaver girl chose to remain. Beneath the wide skies of China, she laid aside her celestial duties and in their place embraced a life of simplicity. Their days were humble, yet rich in ways unseen. The cowherd tended his fields, guiding his ox across the rolling land, while the weaver girl brought a gentle grace into their small home. Though she no longer wove the heavens, her hands did not forget their skill. She spun cloth of remarkable beauty, delicate yet strong, its patterns reflecting the quiet harmony of her heart. The villagers, though unaware of her true nature, marveled at her craft and spoke often of the strange yet wonderful woman who had come to dwell among them. Together they shared meals beneath the soft glow of lantern light, walked the riverbanks at dusk, and rested beneath the vast canopy of stars. Stars that, though distant, seemed to watch over them with silent understanding. In time, their happiness deepened, for they were blessed with children, bright and lively, their laughter filling the quiet spaces of their home. The weaver girl who had once known only the stillness of the heavens now found her days filled with gentle purpose, caring for a family, guiding small hands, and watching life grow in ways she had never imagined. The cowherd, too, found a new strength within himself. No longer did he walk the fields alone. His steps were now guided by love, his labors made lighter by the presence of those who waited for him at day's end. Their life, though simple, was complete. Yet far above, in the celestial realm, the weaver girl's absence had not gone unnoticed. The tapestry of the heavens, once woven with precision and care, began to falter. The colors of dawn grew faint, the patterns of clouds lost their harmony, and the stars themselves seemed dimmed by the absence of a guiding hand. The Queen of Heaven, ruler of the celestial court, beheld this disorder with growing concern. "Where is the weaver girl?" she asked, her voice echoing through the vast expanse of the heavens. When at last the truth was revealed, that she had descended to the mortal world and chosen to remain, the Queen's expression grew stern. "The balance of the heavens cannot be forsaken," she declared. "No matter the longing of the heart, duty must not be abandoned." Unaware of the growing unrest above, the cowherd and the weaver girl continued their peaceful life. Yet there came a subtle change in the air. The winds grew restless, the skies less certain. At dusk, the colors of the horizon seemed tinged with unease, and the stars, though present, shimmered with a faint and distant sorrow. The weaver girl felt it first, a quiet stirring within her, a pull that she could neither ignore nor fully understand. One evening, as she stood by the river, gazing up at the heavens she had once called home, a shadow passed across her expression. "The sky," she murmured softly, "it is no longer as it was." The cowherd stepped beside her, his presence calm and steady. "Whatever comes," he said gently, "we shall face it together." she returned to him, her eyes filled with both love and a faint, unspoken fear. "Yes," she replied softly, "together." The night deepened, wrapping the world in quiet stillness. The river flowed as it always had, and the stars watched from above, their light steady yet distant. And though the world below remained peaceful, the heavens had begun to stir, for love, as pure and gentle as it may be, had crossed the boundary between the earth and sky, and such a crossing could not remain unnoticed forever. The night that followed carried a stillness unlike any before. The air, though calm, seemed to hold an unseen weight, as though the very fabric of the world waited in quiet anticipation. The weaver girl stood once more beside the river, her gaze lifted towards the heavens. The stars, though countless, no longer felt distant. They seemed nearer, watching, as though aware of what was soon to unfold. Beside her, the cowherd remained silent, sensing the change, though unable to name it. His heart, steady as it had always been, now stirred with a faint unease, like the first ripple upon still water. Without warning, the sky shimmered, a soft but commanding radiance spread across the heavens, parting the clouds with a gentle yet undeniable force. From that light descended the Queen of Heaven, her presence vast and serene, yet bearing the quiet authority of one who governs the celestial order. Her robes flowed like drifting clouds, and her gaze, though not unkind, held the weight of duty unbroken by time. The weaver girl lowered her head at once, her form trembling slightly, not with fear, but with the knowledge of what must follow. "Daughter of the heavens," the queen spoke, her voice neither harsh nor gentle, but resolute. "You have forsaken your place among the stars. The balance of the sky has faltered in your absence." The cowherd stepped forward, his voice calm, though touched with quiet urgency. "She has done no wrong," he said. "She has lived with kindness and care, harming none. If all there is, let it rest with me." The queen regarded him with a measured gaze. "This is not a matter of blame," she replied. "It is a matter of balance. The heavens and the earth must remain in their proper places." With a single graceful motion, the Queen of Heaven drew forth a celestial hairpin and swept it across the sky. At once, a vast river of light appeared, stretching from horizon to horizon, a shimmering expanse of stars, wide and impassable. It was the Milky Way, a celestial boundary formed in an instant, separating the weaver girl from the cowherd. The distance between them grew, though neither moved. One stood upon the earth, the other was drawn back toward the heavens, the river of stars flowing endlessly between them. "Wait," the cowherd called, his voice steady yet filled with longing. The weaver girl reached out, her hand extended across the glowing divide. Their fingers did not meet. Though separated, neither turned away. The cowherd remained upon the earth, his gaze fixed upon the heavens. The weaver girl, now among the stars once more, looked down with eyes that shimmered like the constellations themselves. No cry of despair passed between them, no frantic movement. Instead, there was a quiet understanding, a sorrow deep and enduring, yet carried with grace. For their love, though divided by the vastness of the sky, had not been diminished. It remained steady, like a flame sheltered from the wind, unwavering despite the distance that lay between them. As the night deepened, a gentle stirring passed through the skies. From all corners of earth and heaven alike, magpies began to gather, their wings beating softly against the air. Drawn by the quiet strength of the lover's devotion, they came in great numbers, filling the sky with a living, shifting motion. And then, in a moment both simple and wondrous, they formed a bridge across the river of stars, a delicate arc spanning the vast expanse of the Milky Way. The weaver girl stepped forward, her movements light as breath. The cowherd, guided by hope rather than certainty, did the same. And there, upon the bridge of wings, they met once more. Their reunion was brief, yet filled with a quiet joy that no words could fully contain. It seems, the weaver girl said softly, that even the heavens cannot entirely part what is held so gently yet so firmly within the heart. The cowherd smiled, his gaze steady and warm. "Then we shall endure," he replied, "as the stars endure, as the rivers flow. We shall wait." The magpies, their task complete, began to disperse, and the bridge slowly dissolved back into the night. Yet before they parted once more, the Queen of Heaven, who had watched in silence, spoke again. Her voice softened, though her duty remained. "Once each year," she declared, "on the 7th night of the 7th moon, you may cross this bridge and be reunited. Let this be the balance between love and order." And so the lovers parted again, each returning to their place, one to the earth, the other to the heavens, yet no longer in sorrow alone, for they carried with them a promise that time, though vast, would not diminish what they had found, and that each year, beneath the quiet glow of the stars, they would meet once more upon the bridge of magpies. The river of stars shimmered softly, eternal and unmoving, yet no longer a barrier alone. It had become a path, a reminder that even the greatest distance may be bridged by devotion and patience. The years passed as years must, carried gently upon the steady current of time. Seasons rose and fell, the earth renewed itself in quiet cycles, and the heavens continued their silent eternal dance. Yet between the white expanse of sky and the humble fields below, one truth endured, unchanged, unbroken, and quietly waiting. Each year, as the 7th day of the 7th month approached, a subtle anticipation stirred both in the heavens and upon the earth. The villagers would look upward as twilight settled, their eyes drawn to the soft shimmer of the stars, for it was said that on this very night the great river of light, the Milky Way, would become a path rather than a divide. High above, the weaver girl would pause in her celestial duties, her gaze ever fixed upon the distant world below, and on the earth, the cowherd would stand quietly beneath the open sky, his heart steady, his patience unwavering. neither counted the years nor measured the passing of time, for love, once rooted deeply, does not diminish with distance, it simply waits. As night deepened, a gentle movement would stir among the stars. From the farthest reaches of sky and land alike, magpies would gather once more, their wings catching the faint light of the heavens. Without sound or command, they would form their living bridge, arching gracefully across the luminous river. It was a sight of quiet wonder, a pathway woven not of stone nor wood, but of devotion itself, carried upon countless beating wings. And upon this bridge, the two would meet again. Their reunion was never marked with haste. The weaver girl would step lightly upon the bridge, her robe shimmering like the faintest starlight. The cowherd, calm and steadfast, would walk to meet her, his presence unchanged by the years that had passed. When at last they stood together, no great declarations were needed. Their hands would meet, their eyes would hold one another, and in that quiet moment all distance would fade. They would speak softly, sharing the passing of their days, the small details of life both above and below. There was no sorrow in their voices, only a gentle joy, as though each meeting renewed the promise already understood. For though their time together was brief, it was enough. As the first hints of dawn approached, the magpies would begin to stir, their bridge slowly dissolving back into the quiet vastness of the sky. The lovers, knowing what must follow, would part without resistance. There was no despair in their farewell, for it was not an ending, but a continuation, a rhythm as natural as the rising and setting of the sun. "We shall meet again," the weaver girl would say softly, "as we always do," Cowherd would reply, and with that they would return to their places, she in the heavens, he to the earth, each carrying the quiet warmth of the night within them. On the earth below, the night came to be remembered as a Qixi Festival, a time when hearts turned gently toward one another, and the story of the lovers was told in hushed and reverent tones. It was not a celebration of grand gestures, but of patience, devotion, and the enduring nature of love that asks for nothing, yet gives all. Lanterns would glow softly in the night, and quiet wishes would be whispered to the stars, carried upward on the hope that even the smallest of hearts might one day find such constancy. And so, dear listener, as this tale draws softly to its close, let it rest upon your thoughts like the calm of a star-filled sky. For love need not always be near to be true, nor constant in presence to be enduring. Sometimes it is in the waiting, in the quiet faith that time cannot diminish what the heart holds, that its deepest beauty is found. And perhaps as you gaze upon the night sky, you may see it, the faint shimmer of a river of stars, and the memory of a bridge that appears but once here, reminding us that even across the greatest distances, hearts may still find their way to one another.